Ginetto, I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. Today we are on the second video of Fiber Facts with You, and I am excited to share this with you today because this is another fabric that was found. So I know that we talked about the one in Peru last time, and this one is from Turkey. Now, I may have a slight problem with some of the pronunciations, but I will, as always, do my best. And if you know how it's pronounced and I say it wrong, please let me know, because I never want to be disrespectful and pronounce something incorrectly. That is never my goal, and I don't mean anything by it if I do say it incorrectly. I did try with the pronunciations on like Google, but I mean that doesn't account for dialect or anything. It just gives me basically what it may sound like. So I did try. I don't know anyone to help me necessarily say some of these words correctly. But anyway, the articles that I share with you will be linked below. They are free articles that you can find. And I tried to use information that was freely available so that if you want to go looking for more information, you can find it on your own. So when this was found, okay, this was thought at the time to be the oldest fabric found. After that, the Peruvian one was found, so it is now considered the oldest. All right, but the first article that I have was published in 1993. So before the ones that I showed you last time for the one in Peru. And this is from the New York Times, and it talks about the cloth that was found. So this was found in a place called, let me get to where, so this is where my pronunciation is going to come in. Chatal Hayuk is where they were found. And it is a woven fabric of sorts. But they originally thought that it was done with flax, but it was not. So these were found to be made of bast fibers, and I'll put a picture up here of the cloth, obviously, which should have already shown up, but also of what bast fibers look like, because I didn't realize before reading this set of articles that that was even a thing. But these come from different kinds of trees. So the list that I have here, and the pictures will come up, are oak trees, willow trees, and linden trees. So it can be used to create rope, but also apparently things that you can wear. So these date between 8,500 and 8,700 years old, right? The textiles that they found in this region of Turkey. So they not only used the trees that were in the area to build homes and different things like that, structures, they also used them because the way that bast fibers work is they're in between the bark and the wood. So that big like stringy pieces, like if you peel the bark off of oak trees, and I've done that after they've been cut down sometimes, like, or after a storm, because where I used to live, in Arkansas, we had a lot of tornadoes, and it's completely side note to the story. But anyway, we would have tornadoes, and there would be oak trees that would fall. And as a kid, we'd go walking through the woods, and we would just, I mean, they were already down, so we would tear the bark off, and you would see like all of these like filament kind of things. And I never knew, right, that they could be used to make clothing, which I think is super cool. But these people that were in the area, were definitely settlers, right? They had been most likely nomadic, the article says. And then when they found this, they did find things that were associated with growing crops. So they probably started, right, their villages and towns. But this was, yeah, because it says people lived in permanent houses built in ways suggesting a degree of architectural planning. And there were also pieces of things that were from crops. So then it goes on to talk about animal fibers, but it says that if they used animal fibers at this point, like in our day, currently the present, finding things that were made from animal fibers are going to be harder because they decay a lot faster than things made of plant fibers. So you have, if things were made of wool or other animal fibers, you're not going to see it necessarily. So it says that judging by the weave of the cloth, and I'll put the picture up here again, the cloth was produced on a simple frame of 4 sticks to keep the thread taut. So it was woven with something like, you know, they call it, they start talking about weaving techniques here, like warp and weft and things like that. And I learned that from Spring, the fiber enthusiast, because I've seen weaving before, but I didn't know what they were called until I watched her videos. So they do talk more about other things that they have found as far as cloth is concerned, but the one that was made of the bast fibers was dated to be one of the older fabrics and the oldest one that they found there. So it does say that they're talking about wearing clothing in particular. It says about 75,000 years ago, images on pottery show people wearing more substantial cloth skirts, but nothing above the waist. There is no firm evidence of people wearing fitted clothing until the Iron Age in the first millennium BC. So, again, this was written in 1993, right here. It was written in 1993. So, it was definitely, before the one in Peru was found, but I hope that it has given you some information. Again, I did find museums and such, which I will link below as well, because again, I just think the magic of these things is amazing, and the information that we can find all around us is incredible. The fact that you can make clothing or fabric, maybe this was even a blanket, we don't know, it's just a piece of it, right? From weaving, even so simply, it doesn't have to be intricate, it doesn't have to be detailed, but they did amazing work even then, right? So The fact that these things have been kept alive and we've learned through time different ways of doing similar things. I don't know. It just inspires me. And I hope it inspires you. And I hope that you continue to come back and watch more fiber facts because I enjoy sharing them with you. As always, be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!